What is up, guys? Welcome back to part 16 of our WordPress tutorial for beginner series. Today we're going to talk a little more about contact 7. We just made a basic contact form in our last section of this video. And in this one I wanted to talk a little bit about the additional settings. When you open that link, it's going to take you here. And it's going to give you a bunch of different options. For additional settings, a subscriber only mode, you paste this in your additional settings here. If you only want subscribers, meaning people who are logged into your WordPress site to be able to submit that form. Demo mode puts it in demo mode, meaning it will always give you a message completed successfully sent response. It won't actually try to send, which if you're on localhost and you want to see your messages, you could do this. Skip mail. It's very similar to demo mode, but it just skips the mail sending part, but it still adds the users to message storing like Flamingo and that kind of stuff. It still hooks all the other functions. And that's pretty useful when we're using Flamingo, which we're actually going to go over in just a minute. Acceptance as validation. This is for checkboxes. I'm not really too worried about going over that as it's more of an advanced feature, but it's validating checkboxes. And Flamingo settings, we're going to go over Flamingo, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Let's see, suppressing message storage, and that's a way to stop it from storing any messages. It tells Flamingo and those kind of things not to do it. And then JavaScript code, and this code has actually been removed, so we're not even going to use this. But those are just the basic things you can add into the additional settings for this plugin. And there's another thing here, redirecting to another URL after submission. Now, this is interesting. It says that you're probably never going to use this, but in my case, I've used it a few times. And let me give you some examples to give you some ideas. So for example, say that a person contacts a realtor through this to want to sell their house, and they have an address and a name and all that. Do you want it to just say, thanks for submitting, someone will be with you in 24 hours? Or alternatively, do you think it would be better to have it go to another page with a big video that's the person talking, the realtor who owns the site, saying, thanks so much for submitting this. I look forward to speaking with you. You can try me on my cell phone right now at this number, blah, 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 blah. And that's actually them versus just some text at the bottom that says, hey, thanks for sending that message. Which one sounds like it's more personalized? So that's just one reason why you could use a redirect. Unfortunately, Contact Form 7, much like saving your contacts, which we're going to go over that in a minute, those are the two things I really want to cover, is this and saving contacts. It doesn't do it internally. And so one option that we have to do, or one thing we can do, is we can use what's called a DOM event. And it's a JavaScript tag. Remember how I said tags have opening and closing tags like H1s, paragraphs? This is HTML. Well, this is JavaScript, and it's opened with an opening script tag and a closing script tag, and everything between the document or the browser knows is JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language like PHP, but it's read by the client, meaning your browser reads the code, not your server. The server reads PHP, the client reads the JavaScript. So this actually gets read on the user's front end, and it's a little bit different. That's why we needed to install XAMPP, was so the server could read the PHP, but JavaScript is read by the client's browser. So simple rundown of what this is doing is it's adding an event listener to the submit or the mail sent part of the Contact Form 7, and it's saying when that mail has been sent, please fire this event. And inside this event, it just says, please go to this location. Please, browser, go here, just go. And it gives it this, whatever URL you put here. And so, but we have an issue, right? Which is that, like I explained to you in an earlier part of this, WordPress doesn't like code. It doesn't like PHP, and it doesn't like JavaScript to be written into it. It cleans it and takes it out. So we have to do something a little different here in order to get this on our page. We're going to actually add a plugin for that called Code Embed. This is really, really similar to that PHP code for pages that we have already. And Code Embed allows you to do JavaScript on your pages very easily with little snippet codes. And I'm going to show you in just a second. It's pretty good for exactly what we're trying to accomplish right here. All right, so once we've activated it and the plugin's ready to go, we actually need to go edit our contact page. So on our page editor for our contact form, where we have that contact form, we're going to actually enable the Code Embed plugin. And the way we do that is we go to these three little dots over here in the corner, and we scroll to the bottom and we go to Options. And then down here at the bottom in Advanced Panels, we're going to have Custom Fields. This came from that plugin we just enabled. So we're going to add that, and it's going to require you to enable and reload the page you're on. When it's been enabled, down at the bottom, it's going to add a custom fields area underneath all of our other stuff. So when you're on a page editor and you scroll down, there's all your custom plugins and things added in, like all-in-one SEO pack is down here. This is where Yoast would be as well. And sidebar layout, this is for the page's layout if you want sidebars or full width. And then custom fields. And this is the custom fields we just talked about. And I actually already added it into here as a starting custom field, and I just named it code 1. So we have the script, the event listener. I just copied the code straight from here, the script tags and all, and I pasted it right here. And I changed the location to localhost new site. Now, why did I do that? Because that's where we are. So this will actually send them to the home page after the form has been submitted. And I just named it code 1 and I hit update. Now, when you first do this, WordFence is very good and it's going to hit you with a message that says you need to whitelist this action because somebody's editing code on the front. That's good. That's WordFence doing its job to protect our site. So go ahead and whitelist the action, and then now you have a code. And the way that you output these codes in your page is pretty simple with this plugin. It requires squiggly brackets, 2 sets of squiggly brackets. In here, it just wants the name of your code. So in here, it's code 1, and we paste that, and then we update our page, and voila. We go back to the front. And down at the bottom, you're not going to see anything there, but that code is running now. So this code is now this short code script, and this is an unusual short code. They're usually in brackets like this, but it's now running this event listener, and it's waiting for us to submit this form successfully, and then it will redirect to the home page. So we've set that up. So now I want to talk about another kind of quirk that people have, or a little irk they have about Contact Form 7, which is when an email gets sent. And now remember, if you're trying to submit this on your local host, it's not going to work because localhost, we did not install an SMTP service, so we don't have access to send out emails because it's just off our computer. So once we upload this to an actual server, we're going to be able to send it right out of the box the way that we clone our site. So don't worry about that quite yet. And when we get it to a server, I'll configure it and prove that it works. But for now, what I wanted to bring up was that Contact Form 7 doesn't save anybody that has submitted emails to you on its own, and that's something that they actually created an upgrade for after enough people complained about it. So let's go ahead and install that plugin too. So there's another plugin that you want to get. So in your plugins, I'm going to go to Add New, and we're going to install a plugin. That's a bird. Wants a plugin named Flamingo, and Flamingo was created by the same creator of the plugin here. Right, Takayuki Miyoshi created the same one here. Arigatou gozaimasu. And we're just going to go ahead and install this, and it's going to start capturing people who submit their form or submit our contact forms and kind of save them inside. It's just going to save some basic information about them, like the subject, their name, their email, but at least we have a backup place. So you're going to see Flamingo added itself right above the contact form, and it has inbound messages, and it has an address book. It's a pretty simple plugin. It has the subject, the from, and also it'll have name too. You can put that in there, and it should capture it by default. So that's what Flamingo's there to do, is to help capture anything in your contact forms. So I think we pretty much covered the basics of some of the additional things you can do with Contact Form 7. I really like this plugin a lot, and there's actually a lot of videos out there on people using this because it's one of the most common and most popular. I used to use lots of other Contact Form plugins, and then I eventually kind of worked my way to this one. And then in some themes, like the Themify theme, which I really like Themify a lot, and I use it a lot, but in that, they have their own contact add-ons for the builder and all that, so you wouldn't use this in that, you'd use their built-in one. But this is great for putting a contact form on pretty much any WordPress site, and then being able to add your own messaging, customizing what it says and where it goes, and then as many fields really as you could ever need. And then it's all editable through adding custom, like I showed before, adding custom classes and IDs for people who understand how to do CSS and styling, and you can style this whole form the way you want it. So that's pretty cool. You can create as many as you want. You can redirect using this code and that code embed plugin we just put in. And you can make all kinds of little changes to it about if it is in demo mode and all that. So I'm pretty sure that's going to wrap us up for part 16 here. And in part 17, I think we're probably going to end up doing a little more editing on the site itself because the homepage still kind of looks, you know, it's not the best, and I just want to finish it enough to where we can get it out on a server. I really want to actually show you setting up a server because this is really coming to the point where I want to show you how to create an actual template package you use every time for yourself. And as you get better, you customize it, and then you use it as your core, kind of like your own company theme that you use over and over as your starting point. And it's going to save you all the time of what we just had to do manually on a lot of stuff. And that's really what we're working towards. So that's it for part 16. Like, subscribe, comment as usual. I really do like the comments, and I really look forward to seeing people's responses. If they think this is too fast, is it too slow? Am I covering enough information? And all that kind of stuff. So once again, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in part 17.